What's up, guys? Evan Almighty 23 coming at you with a new video. I am running with the Titans in this one, playing the Green Bay Packers. This guy, was onside kicking a lot. He was playing cheap. He loved to throw to his tight ends, so it was kind of frustrating to play him. But basically today, what I want to talk about is Calvin Johnson breaking the all-time receiving yards in one season. Tonight when I'm recording this video, he had just broken it. I was at work when it happened, so I was actually not able to see it live, but when I saw news on Twitter that he had broken the record, I was just so happy, because I'm a pretty big Calvin Johnson fan. I'm not like a huge Detroit Lions fan or anything. I just have always liked him. I just like the way he carries himself. He's not cocky, very humble, and he's just such a great athlete, and he's just such a fun player to watch. I mean, how could you not want to watch him, play? But anyways, I remember the day he got drafted, like, so vividly. I mean, I had taken a trip for my birthday with my cousin and my aunt and uncle to New York City, and as you guys know, the NFL draft is held in New York City, and it just so happened that we were going to New York City the day of the first round of the draft. We only went for one day because it was a weekend and we were only going for one day, so we woke up real early. We took a plane, we went to bed real late. We just spent a whole day there, and then ended up leaving the next morning real early. But we had actually, right there, I get some BS in this game, on the kickoff. But anyways, we had left real early, and got there, so we got a full day out of it. But anyways, we were actually going to New York to see the Boston Red Sox Yankees game in old Yankee Stadium, because it was supposed to be the last year of Yankee Stadium. But after we had gone to the game, we wanted to go because it was the last season, but it actually ended up being the second to last season because they decided to stay open one more year to host the All-Star game. But that means nothing to the story. Anyways, I remember the NFL draft was on, and we were debating if we should go see the first round of the NFL draft. And since we didn't really have a full day, it had been my cousin's first time as well as my first time in New York City, so we decided we just wanted to see the whole city and just experience it all instead of staying at the draft. So I remember we had gotten back to our hotel room after walking around the city before we were about to leave for the Yankees Red Sox game, and the first round was, like, I want to say halfway over, and I remember the Cleveland Browns, that's my favorite team, got Joe Thomas, which was one of the best picks in franchise history because he has just been great for us. I remember Adrian Peterson was in that draft. They picked Adrian Peterson. I remember people were afraid to pick him because he was injury prone. That's what the commentators kept saying, bringing up how he was injury prone. But I mean, look at him now in real life. Comes back from an ACL injury and has an amazing year. And Calvin Johnson was drafted, and I remember, oh man, this story the commentators told when he was drafted. They told this story, and I remember it to this day. And I just love the story for some reason. It just stuck in my head. I don't know why I liked it so much, but the commentators had said part of the reason he has such great hands is because I guess he lived with his uncle, I believe, as a child, and his uncle would take him outside all the time to play catch with him. And I guess his uncle used to throw the ball as hard as he could at Calvin, and Calvin would catch it, and his hands would get raw and red because his uncle would just throw the ball as hard as he could. And and Calvin liked to do it, like it was Calvin's just choice. He wanted to do it. He wanted to get better, and he would go outside and do this. And when he would drop a ball, he would have to drop down and do 10 push-ups, and they would do this again and again. Go outside, play catch. His uncle would throw it as hard as he could, and that's part of the reason Calvin has such great hands. He's got some of the best hands ever, you know, in the history of the NFL. He might go down as the best receiver in the history of the NFL ever. You know, he's just a total athlete. He's a great player, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he broke the receiving record. And a lot of people, you know, look at it and say, oh, the Madden curse, you know, before the season started. They're like, he's going to get hurt. He's going to have a bad season. Well, Megatron just proved that the Madden curse is not real. He definitely proved that wrong. Not only did he not get really injured or not have a bad season, he had a record-breaking season and broke the Jerry Rice's record for most receiving yards in a game. And, you know, he's still young. Calvin has so much more ahead of him. You know, I can't see him. You know, I could see him in the future, you know, just breaking tons of records and, you know, career records like career receptions, receiving touchdowns, receiving yardage. You know, he's got lots of more milestones, you know, to pass. And he's got, you know, lots more in store for his career. So, you know, I thought I'd share with you guys, you know. I just was thinking about that. I was like, man, I remember, you know, the day he was drafted. I remember that so vividly, you know. I just remembered it. So I thought I'd share that story with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you guys think. You know, are you happy for him? Do you think the record will be broken anytime soon? You know, anyone will break Calvin's record? Because I don't think really. I think that record will stay for a while. You know, that's pretty impressive. It's a great thing that he's done. You know, Jerry Rice, you know, was the one that held the record before, and look what he did in his career. You know, like I said, Calvin has more years to break his own record, so that's going to be really awesome. So if you guys like the video, if you could please give it a thumbs up, that really helps my channel. And thank you guys so much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed and you enjoyed the video, please do. And until next time, I am out of here.
They got in position and they made the interception.